The automatic doors hissed shut behind her, and that was the moment I understood what disposable felt like. My suitcase sat upright between my ankles like a loyal dog. She didn't turn around. She didn't have to. Her shrug did all the talking. "You'll figure it out," she said, already smiling at him. New husband, new kids, matching linen outfits, the kind of family that photographs well. I watched them disappear past security while the departures board flickered like a dying pulse. 15 years old, gate C17, no ticket home. I didn't cry. Crying would have meant surprise. This felt practiced, rehearsed, the last line of a play I'd been watching for months. It hadn't always been like this. There was a time she braided my hair before school and pressed her thumb into my palm when she kissed me goodnight. There was a time when I was the plan, not the inconvenience. Back then, my father was a roomer, an argument that ended rooms. He left when I was 6, or so I was told. What actually left was the version of her that needed me. The new man arrived with money and schedules and children who called her mom too quickly. I learned the choreography of being the extra. Eat later, sit quieter, be grateful. Love was rationed now, and I wasn't on the list. The signs were small at first. My name falling off guest lists, my room repurposed into storage, the way her eyes slid past me like I was a stain she meant to scrub later. Then the tickets. First class, 4 seats, not 5. At the airport, the truth stopped pretending. She handed me her credit card like a bandage over a bullet hole. "Use it if you need something," she said, as if I were staying behind by choice, as if this was a test of independence, not abandonment. I waited until their flight lifted. I waited until the airport returned to its hum. Then I took out my phone and called the man I wasn't supposed to need. He answered on the second ring. "Dad," I said, testing the word. It held. He didn't ask why. He asked where. 90 minutes later, a private jet cut the sky open like a confession. The pilot knew my name. The seat was warm. The silence felt expensive. That's when my mindset shifted. Survival had been reactive. This would be surgical. I didn't tell him everything. I didn't have to. He saw it in my posture, the way I cataloged exits, the way I didn't ask for permission to exist. He enrolled me. Lawyers followed. Documents surfaced. Old ones. The kind that changed narratives. Turns out my mother had built her new life on borrowed ground. A trust meant for my education redirected. Accounts moved without consent. Signatures that weren't hers, but close enough to pass if no one looked too hard. No one had. Until me. I waited. Revenge isn't loud if you do it right. It's patient. It lets people finish digging. When she returned from her vacation, sun-tanned and triumphant, she found my room empty. Bed stripped, walls bare, no goodbye note, just an envelope on the desk she'd claimed for herself. Inside, a legal notice. Clean, polite, devastating. The funds were frozen pending investigation. Custody reconsidered, residency challenged, fraud alleged with receipts attached. The house? Not hers, never was. The trust had purchased it in my name. I was a minor then. I wasn't now. She called. I didn't answer. She texted. Paragraphs collapsed into apologies, collapsed into rage. I read them once, then archived them like evidence. We met weeks later in the lawyer's office with glass walls and no privacy for secrets. She looked smaller. He wasn't there. New husbands tend to scatter when money starts asking questions. I did my best, she said, eyes glossy. Performance mattered to her, even now. I leaned back, calm, measured. You did what was convenient. She opened her mouth, closed it. I slid a document across the table. Conditions, boundaries, consequences, my terms. You abandoned me, I said, finally. No tremor. This is me figuring it out. The realization landed slowly, that the child she'd shrugged off had learned her language, that love wasn't the only currency that moved doors. Control did too. When it was over, I walked out alone. No applause, no music. just the quiet satisfaction of a plan completed. I don't feel sad when I think about it now. I feel precise. Betrayal taught me clarity, silence taught me leverage, and the airport taught me something else, something final. If you leave me behind, don't be surprised when you come back to find nothing where I used to be.